All right. All right. Let's take a look at well, let's do this one first. My truck won't start. Let's do this. And tell me, make sure tell me if you can see this. All right. So let me open up another window. You see the window I'm opening?
Yeah.
All right. Dies suddenly restarts, then dies after 3 seconds. It won't stay running.
Okay, 2008 Toyota Tacoma died on the highway today. Just
So
instant.
he got a 2008. I got a 2017, but it might be the same type of problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Died. Could not get it restarted. It's my son's truck. He could not get it restarted. It does start, but dies after 2 seconds.
You heard that hesitation?
Uh-huh.
That's what mine is sounding like. So that
You can rev it a little bit if you start it with the throttle halfway, the throttle pedal on. You can get a couple of revs out of it, but holding the pedal does absolutely nothing. So
well, one thing, he's in a cold area, so that might be one of the reasons.
Yes, I asked that too.
this is not the issue. I just went to pull this out to spray some starting fluid in there and see if there was a fueling problem, or some propane, sorry, and see if there was a fueling problem. There wasn't, but this, I don't know what this is. This is just a vacuum. That's probably the what do you call it? Positive crankcase PCV valve. So I just got to replace that. That is not the issue. Unplug the MAF sensor right here on top. Let's see if we can get it to running a little better. If it does run for a little longer this time.
Time to put it in drive and take
It's
off.
going to be making any difference. So it's not the MAF sensor, I don't think. Back in 1 second. The little pin in the middle would go up and change. I'm assuming.
I'm skipping forward a little bit.
The,
See what he's getting.
move in and out, but remove. Yes. Sorry about that. Holding out too much for this, but hopefully. And that noise could just be one side still. Again, it's a coil of wire inside this white ceramic.
I'm not really getting much from that one, so I'm gonna move to yeah. See, car starts and dies right away.
Hey, you got a car, it starts like this, but then just stalls. No matter what you do, you start it, and it just stalls. On the Toyotas, I've seen this a lot, so I figured I'd share this with you guys. It's probably the mass airflow sensor. Let's go check it out. I mean, it can be a lot of things. It can be fuel, ignition. Yeah, we took it off, and now we're gonna see if it starts.
All right, can you hear it? I changed the speaker. It was coming across my speaker. I put it in. You can hear it? Okay.
And there you go. Let's try gas.
Okay. Let me stop and start again. Let's see what he's.
Stalls. On the Toyotas, I've seen this a lot, so I figured I'd share this with you guys. It's probably the mass airflow sensor. Let's go check it out.
Mass airflow sensor.
I mean, it can be a lot of things. It can be fuel, ignition. Yeah, we took it off, and now we're gonna see if it starts. And there you go. Let's try gas. All right, let's indeed confirm that by plugging it back in.
Okay, that's on the top of
All
there.
right, let's see if the car likes it. The car doesn't like it. So it's bad, it's dirty, or you can clean it, but I would replace it.
Okay.
All right, but that can get you where you're going if you're not nowhere near a mechanic, or you got a car, it starts like.
Now, see, that's what I needed to know.
Yes, air. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, and that's something I can do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm sitting at there, just got some gas before I call you. And I'm sitting there, and it turned over just like that, but then it like choked out. So that makes sense. The airflow mass airflow filter. So YouTube it. I'll be YouTubing everything I don't know.
Sensor, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, see about this one.
Start the car. Can be started successfully. But as soon as I let go of the accelerator, the engine stalled immediately. Let's fix this glitch.
This is the kind of girlfriend I need.
Yeah. Which part? Don't talk English?
Huh?
Which part? Don't talk English or?
How about both?
Okay,
'Cause,
start the car.
Boy, you silly.
Did you see it? One success. I let off the accelerator. Idle speed is normal.
I didn't even catch that part. I was like, whatever. I'm talking about a mechanic, dude.
You learned it. Follow me.
Because you don't know Mandarin.
Fix car. That's all I need to know.
Car knowledge every day. Start the car. Can be started.
All right, see now that's a little too much.
Right.
I mean, I would have to.
It was all too much for me.
Whatever, dude.
I didn't know what she was talking about.
But see that I don't know what he needs to replace this whole engine. But let's see what else we can get.
What else you got past cars? This is all cars. Big box needs an address.
But yeah, so I like his solution. Just unplug the thing to get somewhere. What? That's all it takes?
Yeah, but that ain't gonna last long.
No. That's what. Yeah, I know
You
that.
have to get to where you need to be. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be stuck at the mall. I don't want to be stuck at work. Unplug this, get home, and then I talk to a mechanic or something. Like I said, when I get at the day, I'm gonna try to see if my coworker can, give me some word on his mechanic. All right, let's see now. All right, this is my song.
I ain't say I like the guy, but who else gonna wear a fur coat in jail with a Bible like that? This one's for you, Puff. Take that. Sarcastic. Free to shine, free to kill.
Okay, so this is I'm mimicking 50 Cent talking about Diddy. They had a feud going on for years.
Right.
So when Diddy got locked up, 50 Cent wore a shirt that said, or at least he sent out a meme with him on a shirt saying, "Free Diddy."
Ain't got a vibe. He remixed it from a cell, still hustling to survive. Gold Bible in his grip, mink dragging on the floor. Tell a judge, take that. As he moonwalks through the door, free Diddy. Hey. Free Diddy.
What do you think about the sound?
It sounds pretty good.
All right. So, all right. Engine. Now this is old Cat. Old Cat Williams.
CNN refuses to have this comedian back on after this one.
We used to seeing people be wrong. We ain't never seen nobody be this wrong. CNN was wrong. CNN was talking big shit before the election. They had the map up, had all the states highlighted and shit. They was talking big shit. There's no way that Trump can win this unless he wins here, and here. That came back from commercial, they was sweating and crying and shit. They was bringing all the neighborhoods up separately. Where's the niggas vote at?
CNN refuses to have this comedian back.
You ever seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that. Have you seen all his up-to-date ones?
Maybe not.
You haven't followed none of his up-to-date ones when it's like Illuminati, like that, like when he's having these interviews with what's that guy's name? Dang, I can't believe you haven't seen these, because then this will all tie it in together. It's pretty funny. Dang. Dang, you got Cat. He's been going off. He's been saying so much stuff about so many people lately. Oh man, this Cat. What's this dude? It's Cat Williams and all the Shannon Sharp interviews.
Oh yeah. Oh, I seen that one. Can you
Oh
see
no,
them?
it's way yeah, it's that, and then he just kept going with different. You saw this one though.
Yeah.
He was doing so many different interviews with people, and then saying funny stuff that was correlating a lot of things. Yeah, it was weird. It's hard. It's hard to tell like which like what's
Yeah.
true
I,
and false. So
it's
what
yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, you can't take it all in a Uh, he was right about when he was on the Shannon Sharp show. He was right about a lot of stuff, personal experience. Now, I don't believe that he reads 1,000 books a year.
No.
That's what he said on Shannon Sharp. So it's like, come on, cat, keep it real. But the other stuff, when he talked about these comedians, he was bringing it out, and the next year, the truth came out. So that was like, wow, he connected the dots pretty good. Uh,
What about that other guy? Not to talk. I mean, not to say too much on it now, but what was his name? Terrence something. Dang, that's another good one to talk about. I mean, at a different time, of course, or whenever. Terrence, he was an actor, and then he did a Joe Rogan. He did a Joe Rogan podcast. He was a light-skinned African American actor,
uh-huh.
and he, turned genius. And
Oh, well, I know, I know you're talking
his
about.
name
Yeah,
is Terrence Howard.
yeah. I,
Yeah,
I, I
he's
got my
another.
thoughts on him.
Yeah, he's another good one to talk about at some point. I'm just thinking out loud on a few.
Yeah. I, I, he conflates things.
Yeah,
Okay, so certain things like math has rules, and he want to go against certain rules, which is fine. But the way he bringing it about is more like spiritual to me.
right.
Say so. Uh, yeah, we'll see if he right. Let's see. Just pull up a couple of them, and he was on this show too. What is now? This is pull him up a second.
I recently learned I got name checked by.
All right, you know who this guy is? His name should come up in a minute. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I disagree with
I
it.
do.
Yeah, I disagree with him on a lot of things. His science is science, but the problem with scientists, they and I'll get this other video show you. They subtly lie to you because a theory is not necessary. It provides evidence. I mean, within the theory, they go for the evidence. It's not in layman's term. You don't prove anything necessarily. We don't use the language like you have to prove it. No. So you lay out the evidence that point to your hypothesis, what you think it is, then that sort of thing. So he's going to go on Terrence Howard. You want to watch a few minutes of this?
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, it's 17 minutes, but we don't have to see all of it.
Yeah, that's too much.
Howard on his recent appearance on Joe Rogan.
I reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, hey, man, yeah, I'd love for you to come on my show, do my radio, do my TV thing. Would love that. I was like, yeah, but I've got something I want to introduce to you.
I got name checked because 8 years ago, he sent me a 36-page treatise.
And it was only 36 pages.
So this is Terrence Howard attempting to reinvent mathematics and physics. A little backstory there. I took initial interest in Terrence because my mother said to me, do you know Terrence Howard? I said, yeah, I know. You mean the actor? She said, yeah. Well, I heard him interviewed on NPR. On there, he said that like when he was a kid, he wanted to be like a scientist and study the universe. I said, well, that's cool. Okay, maybe we'll get him on Star Talk. We love talking to celebrities who have a soft geek underbelly. At the time, I didn't quite know how to get in touch with him, but we met at something called the Upfronts, which is where networks present their next season's TV shows.
I saw him at an event up front.
And then this came in my inbox. In this particular case, since I basically solicited it from him, I actually spent time reading every line of all 36 pages, and I commented. My comments are in red here. You see that? So I spent a lot of time on it, and I thought, out of respect for him, what I should do is give him my most informed critical analysis that I can. In my field, we call that a peer review. You come up with an idea, you present it either at a conference or you first write it up, and you send it to your colleagues. It is their duty to alert you of things about your ideas that are either misguided or wrong, or there's a
I'm just on. That's true, what he's done. But what they don't tell you, this is the other part. If you go outside their theory, their walls, say evolution, they're not going to even take any consideration if you believe in creation by God. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you got to bring your information within the confines of their framework. So I'm just want to bring out. So what Terrence Howard does, he comes outside their framework, which I don't agree with him in his math. But, you know, and it's good for him to, and you can't take this thing personal. What I felt what Terrence did was take it too personal. If I give you something about Jesus Christ, about landing on the moon, or we did not go on the moon, and I'm looking for, you know, agreement, disagreement. It don't matter to me. I'm going forward with it anyway. But you can't take it personal if someone rejects your idea. They have a framework and a reputation. You know what I'm saying? That's how he makes his money, within this framework of science.
The calculation doesn't work out, or the logic doesn't comport. That's their job. Not all ideas will turn out to be correct. Most won't be. But to get to that point, you need to know things like, what has everyone else said about this same subject? Am I repeating someone else's work? Is this a new insight that no one else has had, but has foundations that are authentic or legitimate or objectively true? Am I making a false assumption? Am I making an assumption that someone else has already shown to be false? All of this.
But again, Neil deGrasse, whatever his name, Tyson, whatever his name. Again, Terrence Howard is not a scientist, so he's not going to bring it to you in that format. You know, I don't know if he has a 2-year, 4-year, high school, whatever he has, he's going to bring it to you in that format, and you just have to work with it. He's coming at it where he should have did it this way. That's when you educate people, or you bring them along, or you help them out, or that sort of thing.
Right, you educate at a different level, and
right, right.
You know the terms for
exactly. And I take it that Terrence doesn't. He knows what he knows, and he might be a genius, and he might see insights that we don't see, but his way of articulating, I didn't agree with. You know, but you'll see it.
Goes on the frontier of science. Let me make it clear that I'm delighted when I see people with active minds trying to tackle the great unknowns in the universe. It's a beautiful thing that people want to participate on this frontier. What can happen is, if you're a fan of a subject, let's say, a hobbyist, let's call it, it's possible to know enough about that subject to think you're right, but not enough about that subject to know that you're wrong. Right. And so there's this sort of valley in there, a valley of false confidence. This has been studied by others, and it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's the phenomenon where a little bit of knowledge, you over-assess how much of that subject.
And what I try to do, I turn that same effect back on them when it comes to evolution. Because he's a physicist. He's not a biologist, but he'll go on what the biologist says and try to disclaim anything you say about creation, you know, because the point I'm trying to make is when it comes to evolution and that sort of thing, they are going by faith, because there's no proof of, it's called abiogenesis, where we came from nothing, where non-life created life and that sort of thing. You follow me?
I follow you.
You actually know. And then when you learn even more, you realize, no, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So then there's a sort of a lull there. And then when you learn even more, you come back up. Ultimately, learning enough to know whether you were right or wrong. To become an expert means you spend all this time. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just sit in an armchair and say, I'm now an expert. It requires years and years of study, especially looking through journals where new ideas are published and contested. That's what we have learned is the most effective means of establishing that which is objective.
But again, and this is what they do. He's leaving out the part. If you come with an idea, again, that is outside the walls of their establishment, the science, they won't even let you publish.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So he's right, but again, they're sly and they're wrong because they know, atheists and agnostics, you cannot let creation get a foothold in what they call science because it will overtake them because their kingdom is shallow and it's crumbling. It's about to fall.
True, or determining that which is objectively false.
In my opinion.
Both of those work hand in hand to move the needle on our understanding of the universe. I'm going to read you just my opening line here. It's titled 1 times 1
All right. So after that, then we'll move on. I just,
equals 2.
So
I'd lead off by saying, this is an ambitious work that is a clear indication of a restless, active mind. Within these pages, however, there are many assumptions and statements that are underinformed, misinformed, or simply false, thereby compromising or nullifying many of the subsequent conclusions you have drawn. That's exactly what should happen in a peer review out of respect for one another's intellect. It opens with a quote from Terence. It can never occur that the square root of a given number, when added to itself, is greater than the initial number squared, for that would expose a loose thread within the fabric of our understanding, a loose thread capable of unraveling the very ground rules of mathematics. That's a bold statement. So then I just say, this opening thesis is false. There are plenty of examples of this that have escaped your attention. His statement is shown to be false for every number that's less than 1 and greater than 0. For example, the square root of 0.64 is 0.8. 0.8 is bigger than 0.64, and it's a larger number than the original. And 0.64 squared equals 0.4096, a smaller number than the original. To the extent that the next 35 pages depends on your stated thesis, this fact undermines your claims and assumptions and conclusions.
Now, like I say, when it comes to that, I agree with him, and they far above my head when it comes to math. So, but that math is not what I'm talking about when I challenge them on evolution. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things. So I knew he was talking about.
What about what?
Let's see. This might be Terrence with this. Yeah.
He was saying is incorrect.
We're going to get into something about multiplication, where Terrence has an issue with multiplication.
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with multiplication either.
Well, then 1 times 1 is what?
1 times 1 should equal 2. An action times an action. If you can show me one place in the universe.
But you just shifted
No. Show me one place in the universe. One natural observable phenomenon where 1 times 1 equals 1, where an action times an action doesn't have a reaction.
So what about what?
That's why I disagree with him. Math is math.
Yeah.
But he is bringing in observation outside of the math.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when, he's making his name for himself and whatever, but that sort of thing. So I watched that show with him on it with the scientists, and then I watched Neil deGrasse and different ones to bring out who this guy is. And like I said, I come to my thing is he's right about some stuff, or he's challenging the establishment, but he doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
He says it's not true.
Oh, there's one more. This is another guy that's talking about it.
That if you have $1 times $1, you get $1. And he's correct. $1 times $1 doesn't equal $1. However, okay, let me say it like this. $5 times $1 does not equal $5. But 5 times $1 equals $5. If you have 2 apples and someone multiplies your apples by 3, then you have 6 apples. But if you have 2 apples and someone multiplies your apples by 3 apples, you have WTF amount of apples. Like he says, it's not true that if you have $1 times $1.
That was another one getting on his math. But yeah, Any other topics you want to run through, run on?
No, not really. Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to still get the feel of all that.
Right.
All these different ones. There's so much. There is so much and so many different topics to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it's all about having fun. And we learn as we go, and that's a good thing. And then we share what we know. Like I said, I can't match him in his math, but his interpretation of it, that's the thing. For me, math is math, but he is going beyond the math, and he's his categories of what he's talking about, he changes during the conversation. If I talk about apples and you're talking about oranges, and each one have different properties, then we're not going to be talking about the same thing. And that's why I see that he's doing.
Yeah.
There's one last, and you want to, we can end it.
Centrically drawn together through electricity. That weak force is an equal force to electricity.
Terrence, let me ask you a question.
That's what I feel.
I'm taller than Joe.
Right.
All right, that's another thing. I don't know if you ever heard him. I don't believe he believes in gravity like we believe in gravity.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so let's go back a little bit.
Was concentrically drawn together through electricity. That weak force is an equal force to electricity.
Terrence, let me ask you a question.
That's what I feel.
I'm taller than Joe.
Right.
Imagine I challenge Joe to a fight. What do you think happens next? I get my ass kicked.
Well, Joe knows some shit that you
Joe
don't know.
knows some serious shit. I have an advantage on him in terms of weight. He's in great condition. The guy knows how to fight, and he's got a spinning back kick to die for, okay? What happens is I get my ass kicked. You do not know when you're going to get your ass kicked. I watch you. You keep finding the space where we could come together, and you insist on teaching into it. But you have no idea, like, when you're fucking with a guy with an Italian last name and a shiny suit with a funny collar that you don't recognize. You gotta stop.
I see the metaphor in it. It was concentrically drawn together